Today we're going to be diving into some of the best features in Age of Empires Mobile. This is a sponsored video and I managed to get early access to Age of Empires Mobile so I can basically test it out and test out the features and let you know what to expect when you download the game on 17th of October. This video is not by any means a guide or showcasing a tutorial of the game. I will simply go through what I found was done exceptionally well in the game and what you can expect basically when you first download the game. I'm not going to lie, there are so many cool features in this game that I feel like I will not be able to do the game any justice in the list that I managed to basically make within the time frame that I had to test the game out. So if you guys know anything that I have missed, feel free to comment it down below so that others can see and basically test it out themselves. The first thing I tested was just how fluid these game movements were in the game. As you can see, I was still on the tutorial and I was just clicking back and forth just to see just the reaction time of the game and just how smooth it was to play. The game mechanics are extremely realistic, as you may see down the line in this video. I'm a big fan of responsive gameplay and it gives it that realistic spark which this game really tries to deliver really well on. There are also cutscenes that give you that immersive feel when you're playing, so that you're playing a story with proper detail behind it. The best part about the cutscenes is that you can skip them completely, and that's exactly what I did. Though I am a fan of storytelling, I appreciate that there are many adults that will not have the time to go through these cutscenes, so well done to the developers for thinking ahead and allowed us to skip literally every cutscene in the game. Speaking of cutscenes, every commander that you recruit literally has his own cutscene. When you recruit them, you can see a lot of effort has gone into the details and the depth of recruiting and adding those historical commanders in your arsenal. Age of Empires has so many historical commanders to choose from, and each one has his own dedicated cutscene, which I guess is very appealing, especially if you really like the commander and especially if you really wanted that commander. It just makes it a bit more enticing, and you might just watch the entire cutscene and not skip them like how I did. I mean, we have Josephine, King Arthur, Attila, Ashoka, Beluve, Boudica, Justinian, Darius, King Derek. I don't even know half of these commanders. I'm telling you guys, there are so many legendary commanders. Philip IV, Miyamoto Musashi, Guan Yu, Harold III, Tariq, Hammurabi. I know I'm butchering these names, but I'm just telling you guys, there are just so many and they're so unique and they all have actives and passives and there's so much to dive into. Hannibal, Constantine the Great, Leonidas, Richard I, Yi Sun Shin, there's Lubu, there's Joan of Arc, there's Ram, there's Sion Diok, there's Bushra, there's Suleiman I, there's Sun Tzu. Of course, how can you have a historical game without Sun Tzu? And finally, there's Julius Caesar. That's 33 legendary commanders right on launch. Now, this next feature is probably the best addition to a game like this, and that is to actually have a working fog of war, meaning you can actually hide in bushes, plan surprise attacks, and be invisible to the enemy until the last second. When I saw this functionality, I already knew there was going to be so many outplays, so many different strategic ways to plan a war, and in this game mode, it just adds another layer of strategy, allowing for amazing ambushes, defensive plays, which is really great in my book when it comes to a war game. Apparently, it's not just trees and bushes that affect your player movement, but there are also different weathers, sandstorms, and different terrains that your marchers will have to go through that will impact the movement of either your marchers or the enemy marchers. So players can get really creative and extremely strategic during this, using the opportunity to use their surroundings for war. Speaking of strategic placement, another great feature in this game is the Island Tactics game mode, where you can basically control the placement of your troops, where you can pinpoint exactly which troops to attack, which route to take when attacking and clearing the enemy. You get a bunch of rewards for completing this, and it's almost like its own quest / expedition mode with a bit of strategy in mind. Let's not forget one of the best features in Age of Empires Mobile, and that is to acquire and level up your commanders and then use them in battle. As I've mentioned before, this game has some of the more unique features when field fighting, and it has many commanders to choose from. So choose your commanders wisely. There are field fighting commanders, support commanders, gathering commanders, and rallying commanders. You can level up these commanders and look at their skill set and what they bring to the table. On the testing server, we can see those commanders out in the field and doing some crazy damage to barbarians and other players. As you can see on the video footage, some of the players have already started to test their commanders on other players' cities, swarming them down for some juicy loot. One other thing that had me extremely surprised was just how enormous the Home Kingdom map is. I mean, just look at how far I can zoom out in this map. I managed to join an alliance and just find myself a closer place to teleport that's closer to King's Land. But you can see just how realistic and big this map is. So you can never really have issues with finding resource nodes or the kingdom being too populated for you to do anything. The alliance system works really great here, and you can have separate chats for different purposes just to get in touch with the kingdom community and have fun with your peers. A feature that I really liked is just how you can automate tedious tasks like fighting filled NPCs. I was quite surprised to see my commander was moving on its own and going inside and outside of my city for those barbarians that it was killing. This is huge because I can have my commander killing the barbarians while I'm playing other events in the game, or looking at the map, or just having a casual chat in the alliance, or doing this fish event where I basically go fishing, or completing some of the island tactics game mode and the expedition mode. What the game does really well is it takes a lot of these tedious tasks and makes it a bit more automated and makes it a little bit easier for you to manage. For example, if you want to speed build or you want to speed up the research and you don't want to basically click on some particular speed ups to make up the time needed to finish the building or research, you can just click on one button and that will automatically slot in the correct amount of time to finish either the building or the research or the training that you're doing. I'm sure you've heard this point before, but you have to give some credits to the graphics of this game and the detail it brings. It just feels very immersive and it makes you feel like you're actually playing a war game. So when you're looking to upgrade your troop types, they showcase not only the stats being upgraded, but the visual upgrade. You can clearly see the armor, the physical build of these troops get better and better and become more visually appealing as you upgrade them. From their clothes flinging as they swing and they bounce and they backflip, to their armor shining and just looking really nice, like they've been upgraded for real. The attention to detail is definitely noteworthy and it's just ahead of its time for a phone game. I genuinely feel like I'm playing a PC game but on my phone. There are many other things that I wanted to showcase in this video, like the many side quests and events that you can participate in that are inside your city. There are just way too many features to cover in just one video, so I may just release another video to show some other sick features that I may have missed out. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like what you see? Because this has tremendous amount of potential in my opinion, and I've had a blast just testing the early stages of the game. If you want to download the game on time, use my link below just to pre-register and just to basically support me as a content creator. I'll definitely be playing this game when it launches, and who knows, I might make a separate channel just to cover specifically Age of Empires Mobile, just because I want to basically play this game and try it out. If you want to be a part of that, let me know in the comment section below. I would appreciate some feedback on this video. This is my very first sponsored video, so just let me know how I did. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.